Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to dive right into a massive challenge that hits almost every successful, growing company out there. We are unpacking exactly how ambitious Australian businesses are finally achieving senior financial clarity, and they're doing it without the massive, crushing overhead of a full-time executive. We're going to take a really close look at the Virtual CFO model, drawing directly from the portfolio of Virtual CFO Services Australia, so we can see exactly how this works in the real world.
Look, it's a painful reality for a lot of founders. When your business crosses a certain threshold, you naturally start making million-dollar decisions. But so often, you're doing it while looking completely in the rearview mirror. You've got a great bookkeeper, sure, but they're really just tracking the past. And you've got an accountant, but let's be real, you probably only see them once a year at tax time. That leaves a massive, terrifying gap right in the middle, and it usually results in a sheer feeling of panic when you actually try to steer the ship. So what exactly is a virtual CFO? Well, think of it as a strategic partner providing senior finance leadership, but they are embedded into your business on a fractional basis. They are actively bridging that risky gap between your day-to-day bookkeeper and your once-a-year accountant. Simply put, it's fractional executive leadership that gives you real-time, forward-looking strategic steering. It's a real game changer. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The financial leadership gap. 2. Meet the virtual CFO. 3. 3 pillars of service. 4. Real-world client results. And 5. How the partnership works.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the financial leadership gap.
The core business case here is absolutely clear. When you hit that operational pain point, your first thought is usually, I need a CFO. But a full-time CFO salary? That runs between $250,000 to $350,000 a year. And that's before you add the 25 to 30% in on-costs like super and leave. That is a massive financial burden. The virtual CFO model flips this entirely on its head. You get the exact same level of top-tier expertise, but for a fraction of the cost, all scoped into a predictable, fixed monthly retainer with zero surprises.
Moving right along to Section 2, meet the virtual CFO.
So, who is actually behind this? The firm is led by Rami Hanna, the principal and founder. He brings 22 years of Sydney accounting history through his sister firm, Trinity Accounting Practice, right to your board table. And you've got to notice that credential stack, FIPA, FTIA, FNTAA. That represents fellowships across 3 major professional bodies. Honestly, that's a level of qualification most competitors simply cannot match. Plus, there's a distinct advantage here, 0 pass-offs. You are working directly with the principal right from the very first discovery call.
And to really understand the scale of what they do, get a load of this number, over $420 million. That is the staggering amount of revenue currently overseen by the firm. It immediately anchors their authority, right? This isn't just theory for them. They are managing massive financial complexity every single day.
And that $420 million? It is spread across more than 180 small to medium business clients throughout Australia. This firmly emphasizes their proven track record. They've seen the growing pains, the cash flow crunches, and the operational bottlenecks hundreds of times across so many different sectors.
Okay, let's dive into Section 3, 3 pillars of service. The whole engine works through these 3 integrated service lines. First up, the virtual CFO pillar. This handles your monthly board packs, 12-month rolling cash flow forecasts, and high-level strategy. Second, bookkeeping and accounting. This is getting right into the weeds with daily reconciliations, payroll, and making sure you get a fast, clean month-end close by day 7. Finally, tax strategy. This is all about moving away from just filing returns at the last minute to proactive year-round planning and business structuring. It's basically an entire financial ecosystem packed into one retained partnership.
Now for the really fun part, Section 4, Real-World Client Results.
Take a look at these massive metric improvements achieved for Harborline Construction Group. This is a business with a $14 million turnover. In just a 90-day engagement, the team completely rebuilt their reporting after a rapid acquisition. They unlocked $112,000 in annual tax savings. They slashed the close cycle from a sluggish 21 days down to just 8 days. And crucially, they dropped debtor days from 48 down to 29. I mean, that is injecting life-saving cash flow directly back into the business.
And you know, behind all that hard data is real human relief. The founder, Rice Patel, says, close used to take us 3 weeks and a lot of panic. Now it's done by day 7, clean, and I can actually trust the numbers I'm signing off on. I think that just perfectly captures the operational impact and the sheer peace of mind this model brings to an owner.
Let's check out another win,
This was for a 42-person multi-office consulting firm. By embedding a virtual CFO, they literally turned raw utilization data into genuine business strategy. They lifted the team's utilization rate from 68% up to 81%. That directly translated into a massive 6.2 percentage point lift in gross margin. And ultimately, it built a $1.1 million cash buffer over an 18-month engagement. No way you can argue with those results.
Michelle Doherty, the managing director of Meridian Legal, sums up this exact transformation perfectly. She says, "The monthly board pack changed how we run the business. We went from reacting to numbers at end of financial year to genuinely steering the firm every month." It perfectly hits the nail on the head. You stop looking in the rearview mirror and you start proactively steering forward.
Now, while the principles of good finance are universal, Virtual CFO Services Australia is actually deeply specialized in 9 specific industries. We're talking schools, not-for-profits, construction, healthcare, childcare, e-commerce, warehousing, manufacturing, and tech. So they understand job costing for builders just as well as they understand MRR tracking for technology firms. This means you get true, in-the-trenches, sector depth rather than just generic, one-size-fits-all business advice.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, how the partnership works.
The onboarding process here is totally structured for momentum. Step 1 is just a simple, complimentary 30-minute discovery call with Rami Hanna. Step 2 is a written financial diagnostic, where you get prioritized recommendations whether you actually proceed with them or not. Step 3 is onboarding and setup. They integrate right into your existing software like Xero or MIOB. And Step 4 is the ongoing partnership. The most vital takeaway here is the speed to value. You receive your very first board-grade financial report within just 30 days.
And they make it easy to slot your business into the right model right now, with 3 fixed fee tiers. If you just need the absolute foundation, Essentials covers your compliance and bookkeeping. If you want true strategic steering, Growth CFO brings in those monthly board packs and cash flow forecasting. And for highly complex, bespoke needs like capital raises or mergers and acquisitions, there is the Executive tier. There is absolutely no hourly billing, just clear, scoped retainers.
So, what does this all mean for you? Look at your own operations right now. Will you keep reacting to the past, waiting until tax time to see how you actually performed? Or are you finally ready for a complete, forward-looking finance function without the crushing overhead of a full-time hire? If you want to stop guessing and start actually steering your business, I highly recommend booking that complimentary discovery call to look at your numbers. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you on the next one.